Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 4 of the semester. I'm making this special History 102 remote edition video for you guys today on Monday, just to walk through really just something basic that I want to revisit in light of the analysis paper 2 assignment that is going to be due this week at the end of Friday, September 18th. A lot of you did a really good job on analysis paper 1. And if you haven't already, check out your grade on that. Make sure you look at the details of the grade, the rubric view and everything to see exactly how your feedback aligns with your grade for your paper. If something you're struggling with was the citation of sources, then this video is for you. If you think you have a pretty good handle on the citation aspect of these analysis papers, you can continue watching if you want to brush up on these things. But today I'm going to walk through the basics of citation through a soft chalk lesson that it's not going to be on soft chalk because I hate soft chalk. So I thought I would just take a couple minutes and review this lesson with you. I'm also going to post it in the week 4 folder that you can view on your own time, and you can click on the links and go into more detail and go on your own pace and things like that. So what I'm going to do is screen share here and go through this this lesson on citations and avoiding plagiarism because this did trip up a few people, and I want to help you avoid that going forward. So basically this is a lesson on using information ethically and legally. Not so much legally from our perspective. You're not going to break the law if you mishandle a citation or a source in my class, but it is important going forward in case you do have to deal with information in a more robust way outside of the classroom. So, you know, the basic purpose of this is to help identify how to give proper credit to your information that you use in an assignment like our analysis papers. So the first thing we want to do is just understand what plagiarism is. That is knowingly using other people's work without citing it or giving proper credit to it. In other words, passing other people's words off as your own is always bad because that's cheating and that's wrong. And in some cases it's illegal, but in this particular classroom setting, it will result in an F for the assignment and possible other punishments as well, including expulsion from the college if it gets really bad. So why do people plagiarize? Because it can be easy to do, especially with the internet. All kinds of things are at our disposal, and it's easy to just copy and paste these days. You might be frustrated by the assignment and just kind of give up on doing the work yourself. You might feel pressure to do so, the thought that everyone else is copying, so I'm going to do it too, which is absolutely not true. In fact, most students, vast majority of students, do their own work and do not plagiarize, which is a great thing. You may not see value in the assignment and putting in the work yourself and doing things in your own voice. I understand that, but this is college and we're doing college level work. So the way that you can identify whether you are accidentally, because it is possible to accidentally plagiarize, there's a nice little flow chart here on how to determine whether you're plagiarizing. In other words, you ask first, are my words here in this essay assignment, for instance, being used? Are my own words being used? The answer is yes. You know, then you can go down this short, handy flow chart, and if you're coming up with your own ideas, you're not plagiarizing. If you're borrowing someone else's ideas, then you want to cite them and give proper credit. If you're not using your own words, it's just a real quick shortcut there. You cite things. Make sure you are giving proper credit from the source, right? Paraphrasing, quoting is fine as long as you cite where you're getting your information from. Identifying and applying strategies, you're using information ethically and legally is, it goes into a little bit more detail from here. Basically what I want you to focus on is these 4 tips, you know, using citations and references for information that you borrow and use in your essays. What you're using in terms of choice of quotes or paraphrases or summarizing, no matter if Yeah, some people think that if you're not pulling a direct quote, then I don't have to cite things. That's not true. As long as you are pulling the information from somewhere, you need to cite where you got the information from. Be true to the original context, and also distinguish between using common ideas and ideas requiring attribution. That's not something I'm super concerned about in this class, so we can move on. There's lots of different citations that may be helpful for you in other classes, especially your English classes will probably use the MLA citation style. I think psychology and a couple other professions use APA. History uses Chicago style. But in our class, I want you to ignore all this, right? This is for other classes that are using more sources than what we are. I just want you to use your parenthetical, parentheses at the end of a sentence where you use a source, the author's name and or the title. Sometimes there's not going to be an author name, like the Declaration of the Rights of Man. You just put Declaration of the Rights of Man. And then the page number in the book where you got it from. That's all you have to do. You can look at the sample papers for examples of this. I uploaded a new sample paper for week 4. So you can get one of your colleagues wrote it, and it's a example of an A+ paper on how to cite things correctly and when they use information. The other things that I'll just really briefly go through is Purdue OWL, which is their online writing lab at Purdue, has a really good bank of resources online that you can access to determine, to kind of get into the weeds about when to quote things, paraphrase, or summarize things. But basically, a good rule of thumb is when in doubt, just cite it. You can't ever go wrong citing a source. You can go wrong if you leave the citation out. So when in doubt, if you're in doubt about talking about common information or whether a summary is applicable or not, just go ahead and cite where you got the information from. More context, common knowledge versus attribution. These are things you can go through on your own time. Again, I'm going to attach the link to week 4, and you can process this on your own. The thing that I want to emphasize most is we have resources at Lincoln Land. If you're ever wanting to ask an expert in information literacy, citation, writing stuff, we have recourse here. Our librarians at Lincoln Land are working remotely, but they are working. You can email any of these people, Leslie, Jill, or Ryan, they're all great people, with any questions that you have about information, access, citation, and all these processes that we've been discussing here. So, I mean, that's the gist of it. Again, if you feel comfortable with this stuff, and many of you do, this might be old hand for you, but I thought it might be a good refresher for you guys as you're working remotely online on these essay assignments. So again, I want to encourage you to use the resources you have, the sample paper, my feedback on your first paper, the librarians here at Lincoln Land. All these people are going to help you out if you have trouble with this stuff, and you can always email me or stop in during Zoom office hours if you have any detailed questions. All right, well, have a good week, guys. I hope you have a good week 4. Let me know if you need anything, and I will see you later.